Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our second podcast. I'm Chamberlain Burke.
And I'm Devlin Burke.
And this week we'd like to talk about the pleasure that we had of seeing Queensryche and the Scorpions on tour. Devlin, can you give me your reaction and perception of what happened at the concert?
Oh my god, that was a great show. I was so happy we went. Queensryche came out, 7 or 8 songs, powerful, full of energy. They're musically it was tight, and vocally it was their vocalist is fantastic. He sounds like the original guy, Jeff Tate. It was audience was fantastic. It was a good opening number. What were your thoughts on Queensryche?
Well, I don't know anything about them. I knew the name, but I did not know anything about their music, so I was completely open to what was going to happen. And while we were sitting at the stadium, we were speculating about how there were tons of open seats. The place had not packed. We have a tendency to be early, or we don't come in at the end of things, especially considering where this venue was. But we were saying, wow, where is everybody? There are just sections that aren't full. And all of a sudden they started filling up. And Queensryche came on and they were just perfect. They were really visual. And I'm sitting there and I was listening to the music and I was really trying to digest because I had no experience with them at all. And I think it was the third song. All of a sudden, the stadium was full and the entire audience was on their feet and their arms were in the air and they were singing along. And it was a very moving moment for me because I'm sitting there trying to, being introduced to this band, and I realized the fan base was so receptive, and you could tell the mutual respect between the audience and the band. The audience was there. They wanted to hear that music. They knew the music. They knew what they wanted, and the band was there to give it to them. So the visuals were great. The music was great. It was a great introduction, and I'm looking forward to getting more involved in their CDs.
Yeah, me too. I also want to comment, they had a great visual thing. They had like 2 screens on either side, and it was like animation and images that went well with the songs. And the song you're referring to is Jet City Woman, one of their big hits. And but I just remember loving the visuals. I was torn between watching the band and watching the visuals. I kept going back and forth like, what's going on? Oh yeah, there's a band. Oh, the visuals band. It was a fun little neck workout for me going back and forth between the two.
Well, and from where we were sitting, I mean, we chose those seats specifically, but from where we were sitting, we weren't up close. We weren't being intimate with the band in a concert kind of way. And so we could see them moving. We were close enough to that, but the visuals really enhanced the music. So I really liked that. So they had good sound, good energy, and a lot of really good respect. Now let's go on to the Scorpions. Okay, you tell me about your experience with the Scorpions, and I'll tell you mine.
Okay, well, I was introduced to the Scorpions through VH1 Classic back when they were good, and they're
VH1 Classics, not the Scorpions. The Scorpions are good.
Scorpions are always good, yeah. And my first song that I heard from them was "Send Me an Angel," and I was doing homework, and I put the pencil down, and I was just watching this video and hearing this voice. And my brain was saying, if you do not become a fan of this band by the time this video is over, there is something really wrong with you. And then I just went and after the video, I was like, I have to know more. And so then and then I found out they had been and then I found out that I had missed like their previous shows the few times they came through here. I missed them, and I was like, oh man, I hate that. So when I found out they were coming, I was excited about that. So this was my first time seeing the Scorpions.
But you knew their music.
I knew their music, yeah.
Okay, so I did not know their music and have for the last couple of weeks been listening to CDs, printing out lyrics, and following along. And I struggled. And don't be offended. This is just my experience. And so I struggled because I couldn't understand. On the CDs, to me, the songs all sounded the same, and the lyrics didn't make sense. And I wish there was a third verse to tie the music. The songs all seem to have only two verses, which is a beginning and a middle, and the songs didn't wrap up. And then the chorus and the bridge would be repeated, and so I was struggling with that, and I was like, I don't get it. And I remember you asking me, right before the show started, if while I was listening to those CDs, I had any preconceived ideas, or what from as I was listening to the CDs, did I have any idea of what the concert would be like? And I said no, I didn't, because I didn't know how those songs would translate to the stage, and I wasn't going to form an opinion before I went. And so I was completely open. I was completely open to Queensryche. I was completely open to the Scorpions. My feeling is it's their job to entertain me. They wanted to come here and perform, and I'm like, okay, I'll go. Now it's your job to perform for me. And I have to tell you that I was completely blown away. The performance sounded nothing like the CDs, and a couple of times I said, isn't that the song from? Because on the CDs the songs all sound the same. And I'm like, oh, this is that song again. But in the concert, I couldn't even tie it back to the CD. I was like, did I hear this song? They were just spectacular. They were visual. They were melodic. The energy was there. And I had absolutely no idea of the fan base that I mean, I had heard of the Scorpions, but I had no idea. This was a wonderful introduction to the Scorpions. The concert was great. The fans were there singing along. They all knew the music. They were receptive. They were on their feet. And they were really paying attention. And they stayed for quite a long time. Very visually appealing. Very, very energetic. And like I said, what I liked about both of these is the respect. The fans were there. They knew what they were going to get. And they knew what they wanted. And the band delivered. So I really had a good time. This was a great introduction to two good bands. And I'm really very grateful. So if you have an opportunity to go see them, I hope you do.
And I would also like to point out Klaus's vocals.
Oh, yeah.
His voice, after all these years, he was talking about how we started out in the 70s and they did a little 70s medley. And but his voice still holds today.
It does.
And especially when you become a fan of a band. For me, if your vocalist isn't strong, I have a tendency to kind of go, they're good, but their vocalist needs. He is still strong. He is still powerful. He's got a voice. I'm telling you, if you have the chance to see anyone this year, please go see Queensryche and the Scorpions. You will not be disappointed. You will have fun. You will dance. It is just one beautiful party. You cannot go wrong seeing it.
And I think they both bands had great set lists. Yeah, I liked the way the songs flowed from one to another. I liked the order. I liked the rock to the ballads to the rock. I think that concert was really good, and I am really very grateful. So, Queensryche and Scorpions, thank you very much. It was our pleasure to go see your concert, and thank you for letting us become introduced to you through this concert. So.
And next time we have a chance to see you, we will be there.
So everybody, thank you very much. We hope you liked our little review of Queensryche and Scorpions on tour. And please feel free to leave comments and ask questions and let us know if there's anything we can do to answer your questions. So thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.